Hello, and welcome to the world of the Hat. For those of you that don't know, I am the Hat. Today I would like to talk about a subject I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's called sports. To be more specific, I'm going to talk about rugby and American football. And with me I brought my partner. His name is Blue Monday. He used to play high school rugby and is well in tune with the sports. He later on went to try out for American football. He's also well in tune in that. Unfortunately, he got kicked off both, but I'll have him do the explaining. Blue, introduce yourself.
Hey, bonjour. My name is Blue Monday, but you may just call me Blue. Ha 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 ha.
Well, Blue, tell us about your days of high school rugby. What was it like? And what position did you play?
Oh, the days of high school rugby. Those were the days.
I mean, to be tackled to the ground by those well-rounded young men. My favorite positions were to be in the scrums and to be in the pile-ups. I mean, to be able to feel those well-shaped man-boobs and to caress that well-defined six-pack and to be able to grab a handful of those. Blue, I might have to ask you to tone it down a bit. We might have sensitive viewers watching.
Oh, pardonnez-moi. My apologies, although I was going to say buns. Although, to answer your other question, I played the position of the slut. Oh, that was a fine position. I stood in the second row of the scrums. It is the slut is the only one who gets to put his hands in between the legs and be able to grab hold of the...
Blue, again, we might have sensitive viewers watching. We might also have ladies watching.
Well, again, my apologies, but I was going to say shirt. Well, I don't know why you're so worried about the ladies. You know, it is proven that the lady's mind is just as much in the gutter as the man. Well, only the men are more proud of it. Viva la gutter!
Well, that's nice. Now tell us about your days at American football. Did you enjoy it just as much?
Well, no. I have to say I didn't enjoy it so much at all. I can't say it's the same game, but it has a lot in common with the rugby. The only difference is the footballers wear the helmet and the padding and the cups to keep from getting severely injured, you know. But it takes the fun out of the pile-ups, and there are no real scrums. But, you cannot grab hold of a man boob or the six-pack and such, because all you feel is like one hard piece of, I don't know what to call it, hardened plastic or something. But no, I did not enjoy the American football so much. I mean, it was not so fun.
Now tell us, why did you get kicked off rugby and American football?
Oh, well, when I got kicked off the rugby, it was because of my poor eyesight. Apparently, I couldn't see so well, so I kept catching the wrong ball. You see, instead of catching the ball, I ended up catching a player's ball. It's somewhat embarrassing, but for the American football, as I said, I didn't like it so much, so I simply left. I mean, grabbing a whole bunch of hardened plastic or whatever those things are made of, it just didn't appeal to me so much.
Now why do you suppose football players wear helmets and padding, and rugby players do not?
Yeah, you almost said panties. Yeah, well, you might never know. Some of those players might actually wear panties. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the rugby players did also. But oh yes, the helmets and the padding. the footballers, they wear the helmet in the padding because they are big believers in the what we call the condom initiative. That means to stay safe and play safe and do everything safe.
Tell us more about the condom initiative. What does it entail?
Oh, the condom initiative is all about safety. I mean, it tells you all sorts of things on how to stay safe, like how you should be aware in public of those around you when you go to pull money out of the ATM. Tells you never to travel alone in the dark, always stay in the group, and it recommends that when you go into dangerous areas, it's better to carry a piece of mace or pepper spray, perhaps even a gun, or put a rubber snake in your car. A lot of these hijackers nowadays very scared of a rubber snake. Rubber snake very good very good for you, very bad for hijacker.
Oh, there's only one thing better than simply putting a rubber snake in a car. Put a rubber snake in with a hat.
Oh yes, a very attractive little rubber snake. Give him a little sheriff's hat. You've got it made.
Tell us, what is your take on all these old players making a comeback or a supposed comeback? Like, for instance, this Victor Matfield seems to be eager to make a comeback to the Blue Bulls. I suppose that's a team you support.
Well, I'm actually a Western Province man myself, but I've encountered the air bubble. But to answer your question more precisely, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, these old players coming back to make a comeback. I mean, maybe they miss the times they were tackled by young, well-rounded young men, and now they want to come back and experience maybe the good old days. But, some of the young boys are big boys. But he must be careful. I mean, at his age, if the players tackle him too hard enough, you will just probably see the dust fly. I mean, if you watch it on your TV, you might think that the video is busy distorting. It is amazing, but honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. The other people say he keeps younger players out of the team, but it is exactly what he is doing, keeping younger players out of the team. So, I mean, why make a comeback? Is it really because of the game, or is it because he wants TV time? I don't know.
And lastly, what is your take on all these supporters these teams have? What do you think about them?
Well, the supporters are a bunch of interesting characters, especially those of the Blue Bulls. Sometimes they wear two different colors, sometimes the blue, sometimes the pink. Then in the stages where the supporters sit, they wear many of the supporters wear a combination of both. And it is very funny to me because if you look at them and you picture Barney the dinosaur and his friends as a bunch of angry drunks, it might give you a pretty good idea of what he might be like. To me, it is very funny.
There you have it, folks. A bit of knowledge from an old veteran. Was it helpful to you? Maybe, maybe not. But rugby will always be a strange game. People will treat it like a way of life. Although it originated in England in a small town called Rugby. Believe it or not, the town is actually named Rugby. In closing, I would just like to say, if you find this helpful, good. If not, your problem. And if anybody asks, you still didn't see my face.
I will now also say au revoir, but first I would like to tell you, when you go out in public, remember the condom initiative, and remember to practice it while you're in public. It is very important to stay safe and play safe. Remember, protection is very important. Viva le condom!